Top story, Omar Abdullah today, part of the India Alliance, rejected the Congress and the Maha Vikas Aghadi, which includes the Uddhav Sen as well as the Sharad Pawar NCP faction, rejecting their EVM is rigged charge. JNK Chief Omar Abdullah asked ally Congress to stop whining about EVMs. Omar's statement triggered a political uproar with BJP mocking the grand old party. BJP said that it's time Rahul should start listening to their own allies.
Divide within the opposition India bloc comes to the fore once again. Congress ally and Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has dismissed the Congress' vehement objections to the electronic voting machine.
EVMs can't only be a problem when you lose the election because they're the same EVMs. So when you get 100+ members of parliament using the same EVMs and you celebrate that as sort of a victory for your party, you can't then a few months later turn around and say, well, actually, hang on, we don't like these EVMs because now the election results aren't going the way we would like them to.
The TMC also echoed Omar Abdullah's view on the EVMs.
जो लोग ईवीएम पे सवाल उठा रहे हैं, अगर उनके पास कुछ है तो इलेक्शन कमीशन को जाके वो डेमो दिखानी चाहिए कि भाई हमारे पास ये वीडियो है, क्योंकि इलेक्शन कमीशन ने वो सबको बुलाया था। मुझे नहीं लगता है कि ये जो एलिगेशन है इसमें कोई सब्सटेंस है।
The endorsement of EVMs by the Congress allies became ammunition for the BJP.
इंडी गठबंधन के लोग जब कांग्रेस को ये चीज़ कहते हैं, दे शुड ट्राई टू रियलाइज इट। मुझे लगता है हम जब बोलते हैं उसको तो समझ में नहीं आता है। अभी तो इनका अलाइज ही बोल रहे हैं। एटलीस्ट नाउ दे शुड अंडरस्टैंड, दे शुड रियलाइज। राहुल गांधी जैसे नेतृत्व को लेके वो नहीं चल पाएंगे।
The Congress and its allies in Maharashtra, who suffered a huge blow in the recent assembly elections, are firm in their opposition to the EVM.
हमारी जो गठबंधन है, इंडिया गठबंधन है, एनडीए गठबंधन नहीं है। जहाँ पे मोदी जी कहे हाँ तो हम कहें हाँ, वो कहे ना तो हम कहें ना, वो कहे एक कदम आगे बढ़ो तो एक कदम आगे हम बढ़े। हम सब अपनी अपनी विचारधाराओं से आते हैं, संविधान और प्रजातंत्र को बचाने के लिए आते हैं।
अमेरिका जैसा लोकतांत्रिक देश, ब्रिटेन जैसा लोकतंत्र नहीं विश्वास करता ईवीएम पे। बहुत से यूरोप के दोस्त हैं, जो देश हैं जो नहीं विश्वास करते। तो चुनाव होना ही नहीं चाहिए निष्पक्ष, दिखना भी चाहिए कि निष्पक्ष हुआ। अगर सबसे बड़ा विरोधी दल देश का मांग रहा है तो चुनाव में क्या दिक्कत है? आप कराइए बैलेट पेपर से।
The opposition alliance in Maharashtra has alleged irregularities in the election process. The Election Commission insists that the mandatory VVPAT tallying was found to be accurate and rejected charges of EVM manipulation. Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, listen in to India bloc partner and Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav on the EVM row.
ईवीएम में गड़बड़ी है, इसका भी काट आप ही को ढूंढना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि इसी ईवीएम की बदौलत आप तीसरी सबसे बड़ी पार्टी देश की बने। 37 सीट आपको आई। तब क्या ईवीएम, तब क्या ये पुलिस नहीं थी? कौन सी बीजेपी चाहेगी कि वो नीतीश कुमार, आप जानते ही हैं नीतीश बाबू क्या है, नीतीश कुमार और चंद्रबाबू नायडू के मोहताज रहे?
ये बड़े सवाल हैं, और जो सवाल आप पूछ रहे हैं कि उत्तर प्रदेश में ईवीएम से ही, मैंने हमेशा ये कहा कि ईवीएम से ही हरा करके ईवीएम हटाऊंगा। और मैंने लोकसभा में कहा कि अगर मेरी 80 से 80 लोकसभा जीत जाऊंगा तब भी मैं ईवीएम को हटाने के लिए आह्वान करूंगा। हम और आप जो बैठे हैं, दुनिया के हम डेमोक्रेसीज को देखते हैं, बहुत सारे मुल्क जो डेवलप्ड हैं वो मुल्क ईवीएम क्यों नहीं इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं? और जर्मनी जैसा देश जो सबसे ताकतवर है कई मायनों में, वो अपने देश में ईवीएम इस्तेमाल को अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बोलता है। वो देश कहता है कि ईवीएम से अगर वोट पड़ेगा तो अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है। हमारे यहाँ लोग तो 80% की 60% लोग अनाज पर जीवन जी रहे हैं। इसलिए ईवीएम पे अगर एक वोट का भी भरोसा नहीं है तो हमें ईवीएम हटा देनी चाहिए।
बैलेट पेपर के दौरान क्या होता था आपको भी याद
और
होगा?
ईवीएम में क्या हो रहा है? अभी उत्तर प्रदेश के 9 इलेक्शन में क्या हुआ है?
तो फिर
इसलिए
तरीका
इस
क्या है?
बहस, ये एक दो कहीं घटनाएं हो जाएं उसकी वजह से आप ये पूरा का पूरा व्यवस्था नहीं, लेकिन सबसे भरोसे का, क्योंकि हम ये कहते हैं कि वोट बैलेट्स होगा, बैलेट से सरकार बदलेंगे, और इलेक्शन कमीशन और हमारा एक्ट ये कहता है कि वोट हमने किसको डाला है पता नहीं लगना चाहिए, सीक्रेट बैलेट है लिखा हुआ। अगर सीक्रेट बैलेट लिखा हुआ तो बैलेट से ज्यादा सीक्रेट कोई नहीं हो सकता है। मशीन से आपको पता लग रहा है कि इस गांव में इस मोहल्ले ने किसको वोट दिया है, आप दुश्मनियां बढ़ा रहे हैं इसकी वजह से। तो जो सीक्रेट बैलेट वोटिंग का कॉन्सेप्ट है वो बैलेट से ही आप बचा सकते हैं।
All right, joining me is my colleague Aishwarya Paliwal with the very latest in terms of politics at the back of various different kinds of commentary coming in within the alliance, and that is what the BJP hopes to exploit, Aishwarya, because at one end you have the likes of Omar Abdullah and Abhishek Banerjee who say that there's nothing quite wrong with the EVMs. Congress needs to figure out whether they blame EVMs at one end but also laud their victory in 2024 Lok Sabha is what Omar said. On the other hand, another key ally, you have Akhilesh, who's made it very clear that there is an issue with EVMs and which needs to be addressed.
Well, you know, Preeti, we are seeing how cracks have started to appear in the opposition. Some of the people in the opposition believes that EVMs are fine, and that's the reason why there are indeed states that are ruled by the opposition parties. But one of the things that the Congress party has been speaking about since Haryana elections and since the elections in Maharashtra is that there is something wrong with the EVM. If you remember, they even had a presentation in front of the Election Commission of India. The CEC and the Commission has time and again told them that if you have a proof, you need to come to us with proof. But there was a very patient hearing given by the Election Commission also, and the Commission has given an assurance to the Congress party and the other opposition parties that EVMs are hack-proof, they cannot be hacked into. Preeti, what's missing? Now, these are only claims being made by the Congress party and some of the opposition parties, but until now, no one has been able to bring in an EVM, hack it, and bring proof. So that's the big question that is being asked by the Election Commission and even by BJP, that when you cannot prove it, why are you making these claims? Preeti.
All right, Aishwarya, I'll come back to you for more updates on that. Well, you know, EVMs, you're going to hear about them quite a bit. There are elections right up coming in next year. Early next year, you have Delhi, and then you have the state of Bihar. Let's see how the opposition takes on what they feel is or were the allegations on a compromised election in Maharashtra and Haryana. However, they seem to be okay with it during Lok Sabha. With that, let's quickly move on to the other contentious issue which cropped up today between the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party. In a letter to the Congress leader, Rahul Gandhi, the Prime Minister's Museum and Library urged him to return Jawaharlal Nehru's personal letters which were allegedly taken by Sonia Gandhi during the UPA regime. Here's more.
It's the BJP versus Congress once again, this time over letters belonging to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. The Prime Minister's Museum and Library has formally requested the return of Nehru's personal papers which were given to Congress leader Sonia Gandhi in 2008 during the UPA regime. In a letter dated December 10, the Prime Minister Museum and Library member and historian Rizwan Qadri wrote to Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha Rahul Gandhi urging him to retrieve the original letters from Sonia Gandhi. This after a similar request was made to Sonia Gandhi earlier in September. Qadri's letter says that Pandit Nehru's papers that were given to the museum in 1971 were taken back by Sonia Gandhi in 2008. These include letters from Pandit Nehru to Edwina Mountbatten, Jai Prakash Narayan, Babu Jagjeevan Ram, Albert Einstein, amongst others. Qadri also says making the letters accessible will benefit scholars and researchers and that digital copies could be made of the same.
ये राष्ट्र के लिए जरूरी है। ये शोध संस्था है, शोध संस्था की शोभा उसके रिसर्च मटेरियल से होती है। ये राष्ट्र की धरोहर है, ये रिसर्च मटेरियल बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट हैगा जिससे जो मिसिंग लिंक्स है कि खास करके फ्रीडम मूवमेंट की वो जुड़ सके और एकदम क्लियर हो सके।
The BJP latched onto the issue, questioning the Gandhi family's motive behind keeping the former Prime Minister's letters.
हम भी ये डिमांड करते हैं, जब से ये दस्तावेज अखबारों में छपा है, कि देश के इस ऐतिहासिक धरोहर को तुरंत सोनिया जी वापस करे और इसकी जांच भी होनी चाहिए, जो आज हमने पार्लियामेंट में भी रखा है, कि आखिर कितनी चिट्ठियां गई थी, उतनी ही चिट्ठियां वापस आई कि नहीं आई।
The Congress accused the BJP of trying to defame Pandit Nehru.
We all know that Nehru letters must be with the Nehru family only. It should not be with the Godse family. Godse family and Godse Wad always wants to defame Nehru. We all know that they had been doing it for 70-75 years continuously, but they are not able to succeed.
BJP has asked question as to why these letters were withdrawn at the orders of Sonia Gandhi, and they are also saying what's wrong in seeking the return of these letters. On the other side, the Congress party is saying that the documents of Nehru will always remain with the family of Nehru Gandhi, not with the family of Godse. With Mridula, I'm Piyush Mishra in Delhi for India Today.
All right, so this is what happened in Parliament today. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi pledging support for Palestine, expressing solidarity with Palestinians amidst the ongoing conflict with Israel by carrying a Palestine tote bag to Parliament today. Her action attracted the attention of fellow lawmakers. The BJP swiftly criticized her gesture, accusing the Gandhi family of consistently promoting appeasement. They also raised the question of why Priyanka, who is outspoken on Palestine, remains silent on issues concerning Bangladesh.
Priyanka Gandhi's bag, the talk of town in Parliament. Wearing a tote bag that read Palestine, Priyanka Gandhi turned up in Parliament with more than just a fashion statement. Showing off a bag that had a symbol of peace and the word Palestine, the Wayanad MP's message has sparked a political war. Interestingly, this statement comes days after Priyanka met with the Palestinian ambassador. The BJP questioned Priyanka over her Palestine message.
All the members of the family of the Gandhi dynasty, all they have done is, they have hung the bag of appeasement. कभी भी देशभक्ति लटकाई नहीं है उन्होंने अपने कंधों के ऊपर, उसका भार उठाया नहीं. That is the bag of appeasement. और anyhow, this is the reason, ये जो बैगेज कैरी करते हैं, इसी बैगेज के कारण इनकी हार होती है.
Priyanka hit back, accusing the BJP of being patriarchal.
I've said many times what my beliefs are regarding this. And if you look at my Twitter handle, all my comments are over there.
They say that
I believe that
can't carry this.
Who's going to decide what clothes I wear now? Who's going to decide that? That's typical patriarchy, that you decide what clothes women wear also.
Okay, ma'am.
I don't subscribe to that. I will wear what I want.
Priyanka's Palestine statement came on the same day that the Wayanad MP raised Bangladesh in the Lok Sabha, questioning the government over the atrocities on Hindus in the neighboring country.
पहला मुद्दा ये है कि बांग्लादेश में जो अल्पसंख्यकों के साथ, जो हिंदुओं और ईसाइयों के साथ अत्याचार हो रहा है, उसके खिलाफ इस सरकार को आवाज उठानी चाहिए. बांग्लादेश की सरकार के साथ बातचीत करनी चाहिए और पूरा समर्थन देना चाहिए.
Priyanka's Palestine support has triggered a war of words with the BJP, accusing the Congress MP of attempting to appeal to a Muslim vote bank. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, pollution trouble back again where the national capital is concerned. With the air quality index in Delhi hitting a troubling 348, the Commission for Air Quality Management has been activated. Stage 3 of the Graded Response Action Plan, GRAP. This decision comes as stagnant winds, dropping temperatures and high humidity have driven pollution levels into the very poor category. Petrol vehicles that do not meet the BS3 emission norms and diesel vehicles failing to comply with the BS4 standards are prohibited from entering Delhi. A ban on construction work has been extended to all non-essential projects. Schools up to class 5 will switch to hybrid mode. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court today said it would expand the scope of the PIL to other states and areas outside NCR due to rising pollution. Meanwhile, moving on, 10 students were hospitalized in Jaipur due to suspected gas leak. The police suspect that toxic fumes from a drain behind the coaching center might have caused the incident. All the windows of the classroom were reportedly closed at the time, worsening the suffocation. The students complained of difficulty in breathing and severe headaches before they were rushed to a nearby hospital. According to doctors, 2 students are in the ICU and are being treated for unknown poisoning, while the others received first aid and are now stable. The Jaipur Municipal Corporation has sealed the premises of Utkarsh Coaching Center and it will remain so until the investigation is complete.
निश्चित रूप से हमारे बच्चे जो है अब स्वस्थ है, वो उनको हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन कराया गया, वहाँ ठीक है। लेकिन जो ये घटनाक्रम हुआ वो हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे बच्चों को कहीं भी स्वास्थ्य से हम कोई भी चीज़ को बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे। उनका स्वास्थ्य अच्छा रखने के लिए हम सारी चीज़ें व्यवस्थित तरीके से, चाहे कोचिंग हो, चाहे कॉलेज हो, चाहे कि स्कूल हो, उनमें हमारे बच्चों को अच्छा एनवायरनमेंट मिले। लेकिन जो घटना हुई है उस घटना की हम समीक्षा और जांच कर रहे हैं। एक कमेटी बना के निश्चित रूप से उसकी जांच करेंगे। जो भी कमी खामी रही है, जो भी गलती हुई है, उसके खिलाफ हम कार्रवाई करेंगे।
बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। इससे बहुत बड़ी दुर्घटना हो सकती थी, बच गई, ईश्वर ने हमारी मदद की। लेकिन ये गंभीर विषय है। ऐसे विषय के ऊपर सरकार का सोते रहना और कुछ भी बोलना नहीं, संज्ञान नहीं लेना, और अभी मुख्यमंत्री जी की सुरक्षा में चूक हुई, उसमें एक एएसआई को जान गंवानी पड़ी, उस पर भी सरकार गंभीर नहीं है। प्रदेश की जनता ये देख रही है कि 12 महीने से इससे ज़्यादा मैं कह रहा हूं कि फेल सरकार कोई आज तक रही नहीं। राजस्थान के इतिहास में इतनी फेल सरकार है।
You are watching Fact Check segment where we bust fake news. On 30th November, various news outlets reported at least 3 attacks on Hindu temples in Bangladesh following the arrest of ISKCON priest Chinmoy Krishna Das on sedition charges. A video went viral on social media allegedly shows Muslims destroying a Hindu temple in Bangladesh. The footage shows several people, many sporting skull caps, demolishing a building. India Today Fact Check found that this video from 29 August shows locals destroying the shrine of a Muslim saint Hazrat Baba Ali Pagla in Bangladesh Sirajganj. A reverse image search of keyframes from the viral video directed us to the same clip shared by a Facebook user on 30th August. The post said the clip was from the shrine of Hazrat Baba Ali Pagla. A subsequent search led us to a video on the official YouTube channel of Bangladeshi news outlet Metro TV on 29 August. A detailed analysis of the video reveals a direct match with the viral clip. The headline of the video said this showed the shrine of Ali Pagla, located in Kajipur in Bangladesh Sirajganj, being demolished. The demolition was carried out under the direction of Ghulam Rabbani, a local imam. Following this, Rabbani was reportedly dismissed from his position. Thus, it's clear the viral clip does not show a Hindu temple being demolished. This fact check on viral fake news is done by India Today's team AFA. With that, a quick break. Stay with us for the latest news and updates. This is AI Sana signing off.